Hello, all you folks out there in YouTube land, the dreaded Lord Crackerswirl Demolisher Magic Sky Fairies, here with a sneak peek at a game coming out on Steam, PlayStation 4, and Xbox come the 3rd of June. Anima, Gate of Memories. Its premise is simple and yet surprisingly deep. You're a young lady with no name, referred to as the Bearer of Calamities. After some events that resulted you carrying around an ancient demon and a book on your hip, and no memories, you were taken in by a secretive order and trained as a combat operative. Now, some other artifact has been stolen, and it's up to the bearer and her demonic companion to kick the holy crap out of pretty much everyone she sees to stop the thief and recover the artifact. From there, you start to see the hints of the story and history without the heavy exposition that tends to require far too many role-playing games these days. I've gotten well into the game now, and so here are my impressions. The controls and the way they're applied to combat was intuitive. After a much shorter time than expected, I very nearly forgot the controller was even there. A healing and mana/key systems work well for the game type, and the English localization is better than I would expect even from some native speakers. Story looks solid so far. There's just enough left unsaid to make me want to play further to find out just how the bearer wound up in the predicament she's in. I'm reserving judgment on the antagonist, as I expect not all is as it seems. The only thing I can put a finger on that seems off is the breathing animation. Not only do they breathe in sync, but at a rate that makes them look like they're hyperventilating. Not a big thing, but something I noticed. The average human breathes about 15 to 20 times per minute, and they're running about twice that. As an quote-unquote indie game on PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, and Steam, it's a fair sight better than a lot of AAA games I've seen in recent years, and easily on par with some of the better action RPGs from the PS2 and 3 era. It brings to mind some of the classics of yore, while still bringing something all its own to the table. Is this Dark Souls? No. It's more like Shadow Hearts, Rogue Galaxy, and Phantasy Star Universe with just a hint of Kingdom Hearts. I played it on PS4 in normal mode and easy on Steam, and both versions play nearly identically. I'd have to ask the developer which version was developed first, and that's the sign of a good port job. You have a potato with an onboard graphics chip? There is some good news. It will run on a 4000 series Intel HD chip on low settings at a reasonable frame rate. Not the lowest settings, just low settings. My 670M got nice and toasty after a bit, but it still managed to run it at high with only some minor frame rate loss. I'm sure the Ultra mode looks brilliant, but I'm not quite that brave. At least not yet. At the end of the day, it's a solid action platforming RPG with all the trimmings. The platform can be a bit tetchy, but the camera is usually pretty good about going where you want it, unless you're in combat, at which point it'll lock onto your current target, and that kind of makes running away from a fight a bit difficult. Not that you can't mow them down, but you're still going to have to deal with them. Of course, you can turn that feature off, but you're actually going to suffer very badly for it. The folks that adore tweaking things in terminal to me, there's a lovely skill tree available, chock full of fun abilities to help you destroy your enemies even faster. All this binds together in a neat little package, netting a total of 96 out of a possible 100 points, barring something really awful happening down the line as far as game-breaking bugs or some such. All sensible cameras agree.